If anybody's seen the new Halloween movie, they know what we're talking about right now, which I thought was just a fucking gore fest. Let me be honest. Jamie Lee Curtis looked like a she looked like a leather-bound scarecrow that hadn't seen that much blood since menopause. To be honest, it was just a fucking gore fest. It was cool for a little bit because I was like, oh, these are like the first movies, and I can kind of follow it. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the anthology, like I could kind of follow it, and I dug the whole like flashbacks. But it just got to a point where it got so hectic and hard to follow. I was just like, I gotta take a piss.
It got really
like 3 times.
It really got on my nerves.
Just went out to check my Facebook
because I really dug the one that they did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like I really.
And this was a follow up to that. I hadn't seen that one. That's why I didn't.
Oh,
really
you didn't even see that one.
I didn't even see that one.
It made zero sense to me. Like I mean, when this comes out,
so you know that you follow the story and it didn't even make sense to you.
I've seen every single one multiple times.
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge Michael Myers fan. Like I'm like a huge Halloween fan, huge John Carpenter fan.
I liked the Rob Zombie ones. Those are the last ones that I got into.
I like the first one. The second one really
over the top gore, and
it was over top gore,
low budget,
and it was kind of like this one. It made zero sense.
I know when they escaped from the hospital and all that shit.
Yeah,
it seemed like he was just had a deal with the studios, and he had to put something out.
But
that's what it felt.
If you look at Rob Zombie has a cut where he combined both of the films and made it way better,
and it makes sense.
It makes sense. They cut the white horse and the little Michael coming in and stuff like that.
So weird.
That was weird. But this one, like it just, I don't know. It just did not feel like it felt like a B-list movie with like A quality
production.
stuff. A quality production.
The production was there, but all the actors were definitely
like the acting wasn't that great.
I know. I also didn't think any of it made sense as far as him murdering large groups of people, which was the first time that's ever happened, right? Usually he's a solo person or he kills a couple people at a time.
And let's be real, a bunch of firemen aren't going to get bested by
no way.
Anything.
They just stood there.
Yeah, they just stood there. Like nobody's going to stand there and just take like.
It wasn't realistic for me. It's like if you're a gore fan and if that's what you want, it had that.
That was a good aspect of it. Like that was like,
I could never unsee that dude that fell off the building. It was fucking disgusting. I've been thinking about it all day.
Spoiler alert! We should have a spoiler alert. Before.
This is a spoiler alert right now. Somebody falls off a fucking building and it's disgusting. I was like, this is what I was doing for half the movie. I was just like staring at the bottom corner of the screen so that the gore was only in my peripheral. I didn't want to look like a pussy and like cover my eyes, but it was like so over the top gory.
Like,
I was like, this is fucking gross.
It really was. Like, yeah, like it.
I can't watch shit like that anymore. I was too happy.
It doesn't bother me. Like it doesn't bother me at all. But like it's just.
I'll tell you why it bothers me. Because when I was a kid, my stepdad used to make me watch fucking Faces of Death. And like,
oh yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah,
like when we were down there.
Yeah, I don't really talk about it because it's fucking gross. And he used to just have the shit playing in the living room TV. I'm like walking by to get a snack, and I see some guy shoot himself in the face. Like, or like they had like videos like early Taliban. People like executing people and shit, and he used to watch that shit in my house, and like so I'm just weird about death, dude. I don't love it. Like I wanted to see the Michael Myers film because it was iconic, and I thought I could get a good salacious take on Jamie Lee Curtis's skin looking better than that mask, or that mask looking better than her skin is what I meant. But that's the only thing that I really took away from it.
But like it was just such a letdown because it was delayed a year because of COVID or. Am I allowed to say it like that?
It's all right. I don't know. Yeah, I think we should be careful though. We don't have enough. We don't have enough viewers maybe to where they'll take us down. But I think that you're not supposed to say it, just because it could.
I don't think it's. I think it's for medical advice, but
right, which we're not giving people.
Yeah, we are not giving any medical advice
whatsoever.
I will not use the C word ever again.
Cunt.
Yeah. But like it just. I don't know. I was just really disappointed.
Yeah,
and
you're
waiting
a big fan.
a year.
That's what
I'm a huge fan.
Like somebody who actually
I got
likes
Michael Myers stuff all over my house.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just and it was such a bummer. I mean, I gotta wait like down the line and see if there's going to be like director cuts and stuff that actually make it make sense because like sometimes the theatrical version is ass of some movies, like especially slashers like that.
I will say that Michael McDonald made it funny and was a good little comic relief.
Yeah.
With him and that dude.
You and John Morris.
Yeah, me and John Morris. It's super silly and funny, and like kind of actually made it enjoyable for a couple of minutes. And if you notice, it didn't show him dying. He was one of the only characters that like it just showed his body after. Did you notice that there was a cutaway? And like I feel like that's how I'd be. Like if I'm gonna be, if I ever get hired to be in a murder flick, I'm gonna be like, just do the cut. I don't want my kids seeing me get stabbed up. Like it's
Right.
like do the cutaway and then show my body.
Well, I was like, what I was wanting it to be was like the whole town just like going through the streets looking for him. And he was just like hiding in like different houses and stuff, and
Like
just
Oscar the
doing
Grouch
that.
in a trash can.
And like like it, or just like I don't know, like I don't know, just didn't have a Halloween film like I didn't. The only time I jumped was at the beginning
Yeah.
when he grabbed up the cop.
Yeah, when they had it, like the retroactive feel and it did this call back to the 70s.
Yeah,
I thought that I wish the movie would have just stayed like that. I would have rather it not made sense in a time period where things didn't make sense to me because that's foreign, so I can get more into it and kind of dive into the universe than like what happened. Just the chain of events is just not. It was off.
one thing that like really tripped me out is how come more than one person didn't have a gun?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
Like-
and that's a
like
small
that-
little
that-
white hillbilly town. Like
Yeah, I wouldn't call it hillbilly, but like
It wasn't super
Yeah,
liberal.
but like it would like.
those are gun owning people.
Especially what happened in that town. Like,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Everybody
Like,
should be packing.
If anybody has a history of something in their town that something bad happened, that even the older folks are like, yeah, we're loading up.
Right. And why were all those people at the goddamn hospital? Why didn't they go all out, like you've said, and walk through the streets?
Because
and
they
find
thought
him?
that they were coming out. He was coming after her.
Right. Which makes sense.
Which came back to it not even him not even caring about that.
He
which
just wanted to go
made
back to
zero
the house.
sense. Like there has to be. Like I mean, they're trying to make it mysterious again,
Yeah.
but like just make him have a motive.
Yeah,
You know what
they
I'm saying?
added
Like-
lore to it too much. To me, this is what I wanted. I wanted it to be like a conclusion of some kind where you're like, okay, they finally fucking got him, and now Jamie Lee Curtis can rest. And but instead, they made it to where it can continue, and it's almost
Well,
like
they had
he's a
already
superhero
announced
or
that
something weird.
there was going to be Halloween Ends before this one even came out in theaters. Like
Okay.
because they were already working on production of it. Like I think they're done wrapping filming for already because of the delay from this one.
Okay.
Because
So they're probably
this was
filming
supposed to
them at the
come out
same
last
time.
year, and they're probably done with filming, but they're putting it in production.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to come out next year.
Yeah.
I believe that's what they said it was.
It was a fucking brutal bloodbath.
But Michael is in his 60s.
Yeah. Very
know what I'm
strong.
saying?
Very strong. Picking up firefighters and taking saws from them and
Exactly.
cutting them in half.
They're trying to.
So
they're
evil.
Trying to,
If
I don't
evil
know.
does that, I should be super strong by now. She was like, the evil fills him. It's like, what do you? Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jamie needed money. I think she was like, come on, we're gonna get the whole.
No, that's the reason
old
why she
cast
said she
back
went
together.
back was because of check.
Yeah, she needed the money. That's
So
it.
like, I mean, I think they're already done with the other movie. So it really doesn't matter what we think of this one
Because it's gonna get done anyway.
because it's already done.
yeah.
Like
So
and it did really well in the box office. Just the opening weekend, it did $50 million.
the one we just saw.
Yeah.
So they already made their money back. They could give a fuck less what people think. at this point.
Let's see what the budget was for that real quick.
I bet they had to make something on it. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say they had
Let's
a
see what
$10
the
million budget. I'm gonna say $10 million for a horror film. Maybe 10.
Oh no, it's definitely more than that. They had like you got to think they had all those actors that.
A lot of those people don't really do shit anymore though.
Yeah, but
Like older actors or people that were the actual
to get them
kids.
back in to doing something like you usually have to cut them a check.
Yeah. To me, this is what I'll tell you what. This is a salacious little take. We saw the trailer for the new Scream movie that comes out in January, and it seemed like they had the same plot. And then so the plot to the new Scream is there's a killer and he's coming after all the descendants of the people who survived the original Scream series. And that's kind of what was going on in the Michael Myers movie. And then at the end, they were like, no, we're taking that back. Take backsies. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like he was going after those same people, and the movie was set up in a way to where you thought that that's who was going to die and that he was after the survivors. Am I right?
Right.
And then Scream had the same exact plot on their new movie. So at the end of Halloween, they were like, that's actually not how it ends. Gotcha.
They had a budget of $20 million on that.
20 minutes. So they made $30 million the first weekend.
Which is not, like, I mean, you got to look at it like as a horror movie. That's really well.
That's high.
No, like that's a huge budget for a horror movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, there wasn't really like, I mean, there was some actors that were from the original one, and he ends up just, spoiler alert, killing every single one that he didn't kill the last time that he was in town.
Right. For the whole fucking 40 years or whatever.
And I don't know, it just.
I think that the one chick, she looks like Gwyneth Paltrow, but the one that plays Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter, she's a fairly popular actress. What is her name? You want to look it up?
Judy Greer.
Judy Greer. I've seen her in a lot of great films.
Yeah.
She's probably a pretty high-paying actress. I'm sure Jamie Million. Do you want to see how much money they gave her for that?
I don't know if that's up for grabs. I think that's a personal thing.
They won't tell you how much they made, you think?
No.
Usually that's like public info.
Sometimes it is. Like it depends on if there's a contract or something like that. I don't see anything on here with what they had made.
Okay. It's a fan on your computer is all it is.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what's going on? I can
hear that back. Hopefully people can't hear it at home. It's loud,
but it's not my computer.
No? I hear like
furnace.
Oh, my furnace?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a furnace.
It's some electrical feedback in here.
Yeah, but especially the ending that it had, it ended up killing the mom.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but let me see if it has.
You can get the IMDb of the movie.
Andy Matichak, the granddaughter on it.
Yeah.
Smoke show.
Did she die too?
No, she didn't die.
She was a survivor. She survived to the end.
So I think it's going to be her and
Jamie.
Yeah, it's saying that Halloween Ends comes out in 2022. So
they'll let this hit the Amazon rental space for a while after it comes out. They're going to make their maximum profits off of it. Sell it in every way possible before they release that new one.
But like, dude, I'm such a big fan of Halloween films. Like, I'm on a Facebook page for John Carpenter movies and Halloween movies.
Oh, you have a mural of him in your fucking living room.
I only have the one painting, but like, I mean, it's just like they're blowing this movie up like it was something good. Like, people who have it like sat through and like actually watched all these movies multiple times, like the real fans are like, yeah, well, we're just having fun. Like, I tried to have fun with it, but I had so much expectations for it.
Yeah.
So
I'm more in the opposite. If you think about that, like, I'm someone who's not a big fan of horror, not even a big fan of the series. I was just like, iconically, I was looking for jokes. That's what I always do. Like, whatever experience I have, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to make a joke out of this, So that's just my comic brain trying to go into something new. But for me, outside looking in, I felt the same way as you. It was just the plot didn't make a lot of sense. They could have had a better cast. It was over the top gore that wasn't very realistic, and a lot of people that died, they just, I don't know. Just to me, maybe that's me looking at it more critically now that I'm adult, because I watched a lot of horror when I was younger. But like as an adult, maybe I'm like, I would never stand with my back to that fucking door, But right. I guess they have to die, and right? It's a part of the magic of the whole thing is like people being stupid for 30 seconds and getting snatched up. Like we all get caught slipping, and I don't know. Maybe a part of me is scared that I might get caught slipping, so I'm like being defensive.
Right.
I guess.
But like, I don't know. You just have like the granddaughter. She,
did you say Smoke Show?
She's a Smoke Show, but she's like 27 playing like a teenager.
What is her name?
Andy Matichak, or Matichak. Matichak. I don't know. I am butchering that name.
Maicia.
No. Matichak.
I spelled it wrong. There it is, actually. Smoke Show. So that's who played Jamie Curtis's daughter.
That's the granddaughter.
Oh,
that's all three of them right there.
Oh, yeah, that's them in the film. Yep. Yep, and that's the mother. She's definitely a smoke show, dude. So she's going to be in the next one, too, huh?
Yeah.
Since she survived. Mommy is not. Spoiler alert. Judy Greer does die. That's the last person who actually dies.
Dude, like that whole ending just
made no sense.
Absolute ass.